how to build a robot from different shapes. So you always start with the body because it's the largest part, and then think about what kind of head shape you want. Really, it's just a bunch of shapes put together: half circles, ovals, rectangles. This is a cylinder, popular robot shape because it has straight sides but curved top and bottom. So that might be good for like your neck or the body. A square head or a rectangle works really well if you're thinking of like the traditional pictures of robots that we probably have seen. They're very boxy. Some antennas, maybe it plays your favorite radio station. That would be cool if it followed you around and did that. And then like not ears, but these are also like some kind of antennas if you want to put some on the sides of your head. So you don't have to pick these shapes. They just will really help you get started, and you can combine them in different ways, which is fun. And then we've got arms and legs. I have seen a lot of claws when I look at pictures of robots. So you can draw the arms the same on both sides, or like over here, I copied this one from the robot with the drill. Maybe one hand has a drill and the other one has a claw to grab things with. And then these are actually legs. All of the arms and legs you can draw in the same way, except just change the size. So like you'll notice a pattern. We have like a long oval or rectangle, a little circle for the joint where it bends, and then another little oval or rectangle that's skinny and long. And then if you want to give them some boots, I just did, they're like trapezoids. I'll show you how to do that. And then if you want to add some wheels or some little flames, like it's rocket powered, that's really fun to do. So let's get started. Hopefully you saw some things you like on this handout. And if not, if you've already drawn a robot before and you know what you're gonna do, you can just kind of draw along with me if you're ready. Or you can watch, and then when I'm done showing you, then you can get started. So for this project, you don't need many supplies. You're just gonna need a pencil, an eraser, and a blank piece of paper. Can be copy, printer, or in your composition book if you want. And I've got my handouts next to me to kind of help me get started. You're gonna try to draw really big on your paper. I've been saying this a lot lately. I say it to my art classes in person too, is most of the time people tend to draw a lot smaller than they realize. So you wanna really push yourself to go big. Now, if you had a lot of things to fit on the paper, you might not want to draw big, but when the focus is on one thing, like we're drawing one robot, you want him to be nice and big so that people can really see the cool detail that you put into it. So the first thing, I'm gonna just start with like a trapezoid. That's the body that I want. And when I say big, I don't mean huge so that you can't fit the arms and legs. But think about like if you were drawing a person, it's kind of the same idea. If you were drawing them like top to bottom, you'd need room for the legs and the head. So I'll back up a little. You can see that's about how big my body is. And then I'm gonna add like maybe a door so that you can put something in there. Maybe it stores things. And then I have seen some drawings where they'll do like a series of buttons. So maybe I'll make this a door. Just put a little like window in there. If you want, you can put a little like a handle so you can open it. And then I'm gonna put like a bunch of buttons and knobs. So maybe you wanna draw like a big rectangle and then put some circles and squares for different button functions. If it's a knob, you can even like make it look 3D by adding a little, almost like a shadow, so it has dimension. That already pops out and looks nice. You can add shapes around your shapes to give it even more detail, and look how much it really stands out. I like that. And then if you want, you could draw something in the open space or just leave it. You could add more buttons, maybe some triangle buttons, I don't know. Maybe I've got a triangle, a square. Now it's starting to look like a PlayStation controller. Okay, so those are my buttons and my body. Now I'm going to add the head. So I would recommend drawing a rectangle for a neck. It can either be like a skinny one or thick and wide. And then I'm gonna do these lines going across so it looks like it can bend. A lot of robots have that. When you draw your arms and legs, you're probably gonna wanna do a lot of those lines too, so it looks like it can move. And then when I look at my sheet, what head am I thinking? I'm gonna go with like traditional and go with this square head today. Think about how big the head is. This is gonna look like it's a TV on top. And give him some antennas. They're kind of like an insect, right? It has these little lines that stick out so it can get radio signal or whatever. If you want to do knobs on the head, knobs and buttons all over the place. I draw 2 lines that stick out and then a little circle. Boop, 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 boop. If you want to make it look like there's sound coming out, you can go like that. Draw some lines. And then how about a face? So I do square eyes. You can also do circles. Everything we're doing is made from shapes. So if you're feeling kind of lost, if I'm going too fast, really I just drew a rectangle, another skinnier rectangle, some circles and triangles for the buttons, and a square for the head. Okay, what else? How about like a rectangle mouth? And then again, these lines, they almost look like little teeth. I'm gonna put them going in a different direction. I really like them so far. What do you think? So what am I missing? What's next? I think I'll draw the arms next just so I don't forget about them. When you are making arms, no matter what shape you pick for the body, I would always do a little half circle on both sides. Do you see what that's for? Kind of looks like shoulders. It's the joint where the robot's arms meet the body so that they can move. People have joints too. Otherwise you wouldn't be able to bend. So I'm gonna make sure my arms are the same length. To do that, I draw one and then I do the other one right away. But that's not done yet. Those are too short. That's only half of the arm. Once you draw half of the arm, it should be like halfway down on the body. If they're too short and up here, it's gonna look funny. So once you have half the arm drawn and you're at least halfway on the body, draw another little circle for a joint. And then you can do like claw arms. I'm gonna add another shape before my claw to kind of make it more detailed. So circle, rectangle, half moon, or crescent moon shape, sorry. So again, to do that claw, I drew the arm, then I do a little joint, square, or rectangle, sorry. And then to do that claw, I made, it's like a sideways letter C, and then another one that connects to it, like a crescent moon. Do you see that? Okay. Now I've got a random arm hanging out. Maybe I should attach that so my robot has multiple arms. So this is where like you start to get into it and you have fun. Oh yeah, love it. Now I feel like I have to do one on the other side. And maybe this arm is different and has a different function. How about the drill? Got some digging to do. Got to put a swimming pool in. If I run out of room, I can either erase that and move it over, or I can just make it work. So to do the drill, let's zoom in. I'm gonna do, again, those lines, horizontal lines, and then some zigzags to make it look kind of spiky, like that. Cool, okay. So, next is the legs. Don't forget the legs. It's important that you make sure you draw the body in the middle so you have room and you don't have to like shove the legs in there and not have enough space. When I look at some of these drawings, I notice a pattern with the legs. They all are long and skinny, and then they have some kind of shoe or boot attached to them. And if you want them to bend, always got to add that joint. I'm gonna make my robot have movement, so I'm gonna do legs like that rollerblading one. So if you want it to have more action, you can make the rectangles go in different directions. And then you had a joint where the two connect, and then another skinny rectangle. I'm almost out of room, so I had to kind of think about the size because I really want to add those boots. So before I draw the boots, I'm gonna do another leg. Try to make it the same size as the other one, otherwise he'll walk kind of unbalanced. And then maybe this one's just going straight. Maybe his other leg is going back that way. I like that movement. Okay, and then the last thing, to draw boots, you can really just draw like a triangle. They're very blocky. You don't have to make it look like a realistic foot. And then if you want a little flame for rocket power, I draw like a lemon shape or a football, and then another one inside. All right, let's check it out. What do we got? I like it. I'm gonna keep working. The more detailed, the better with this. Plus, like, we're not going to be coloring these. You can if you want, but I'm just gonna leave mine as a pencil drawing. So that means you have lots of time to like play around with shapes, add some patterns and some details, more of those straight lines going across. If you want to, you can segment. This is called segmenting. You're breaking up the shape into smaller shapes. That's kind of how we talked about making the robot being able to bend more by having like these circle joints and also these segmented parts. You can do it on your arms too. You can go crazy with it. All right, I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. And let's have some fun with this. Thanks, guys.